Guys, I'm Tyler, and today we're going to be going over the three major V-twin motors that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. So, now Harley made several different models, several different engines, several different bikes. They're still coming up with new stuff. But today we're going to focus on the Painhead, the Knucklehead, and the Shovelhead. And so the V-twin gets their name from this right here. It looks like a V. The pistons go up and down like such. But we're going to start with the Knucklehead first. So the Knuckle is produced from 1936 to 1947. I wish I had a set of cases or a set of heads to show you guys, but unfortunately I don't today. But we can do this exercise. Ball your fist up, and this is what a Knucklehead rocker box looks like. It had the valves and the push rods and the rockers all at the top of the motor, you know. Anyway, so the Knucklehead came in several different, well, only two different sizes. They came in 61 cubic inch and they came in 74 cubic inch. Now, with that being said, 61 only pushed out probably about 35, maybe 40, 45 horses, and the 74 cubic inch pushed out roughly 50 to 55 horses. Not much, but you know, on two wheels, that's a lot of power. Anyway, so the 74 cubic inch cylinder that the Knuckleheads had were used all the way up to 69 on 74 cubic inch motors. Actually, they reached into the 70s too, the early 70s. But that gets when we get to the Shovelhead. So the Knucklehead it wasn't junk, but you got to think this was wartime, so all our good metals were going to factories to be produced to go overseas, you know. So they're rare. If you find these cases, they're either busted up or they're broken, things are broken off of them, but nonetheless, they're still very expensive. But the Knucklehead was an all internal motor. So you had your cam gears and your rotating assembly inside the cases on the bottom end. Now this had a generator on it which charged your battery or charged, you know, gave your bike electricity. But anyway, now we have the Painhead. So this is one of my favorite motors, the Painhead. The Painhead was produced from 1948 to 1965. Still pretty rare, still pretty expensive to buy just a motor itself, but it looks good and they run great. Now, they had a lot of upgrades from the Knucklehead, including the oiling system. So with the Knucklehead, you had oiling issues per se. But with the Painhead, it enclosed the rocker boxes and it captured the valves in this. This sat on top of the motors. It had two of them. And if you look, it looks like a pan. But this was said to be cooked out of when bikers went camping. How true that is, I don't know. I don't think I would. Anyway, so the Painhead was a 74 cubic inch motor, just like the Knucklehead, and it had better oiling for the top end. But essentially the bottom end was almost identical. There were a few little changes, including the oil pump on the back of the motor, but other than that, it was simply the same. But let's get to the Shovelhead. This has to be my second favorite motor that Harley's ever made. So the Shovelhead was produced from 1966 to 1984, but Harley made big changes to the Shovelhead. In 1969, they stopped putting generators on their cases. So instead, they put alternators. So they changed the entire bottom end of the motor. I wish I had a case comparison to show you next to this Evolution motor. This is the exact same bottom end as the Shovelhead, the later shovel heads from 1970 to 1984 had the cone style bottom end. And you can see that by the cone right here that protrudes from the side. Regardless, they made a lot of changes. They fully changed out the gears inside of the motor, so there was less moving parts. It was more efficient, and on top of that, the top end got beefed up a little bit. It went from 74 cubic inches to 80 cubic inches, or in realistic terms, it was 81.1 cubic inches. But still, these three Harley motors are some of the most sought after motors, and I deal with them from time to time in the shop. Well, on a day-to-day basis in the shop, but lately I've been getting more twin cams and Evolution motors, which this right here, this is an Evolution motor. This thing is a powerhouse. This is a 95 cubic inch and it's going to scream. Regardless, the knucklehead, the panhead, and the shovelhead were good motors back in the day. And now with the advancement of technology, they are even better. We can only move forward, we can never move back. But, regardless, so today we went over the knucklehead, the panhead, and the shovelhead. We went over the years, and we went over the differences and similarities. Now, it wasn't as descriptive as I wanted to be, but I did this in the essence of time. So if anybody wants any more information, feel free to contact me at any time. Alright guys,